Well, it's also the time for holiday scams, and boy, I've seen I've said this before. Steve J.J. Weisman, of course, joins us. He's literally one of our longest-running guests. He wrote The Truth About Avoiding Scams many years ago. He runs Scamicide.com. He likes to say things are not as bad as you think; they're far worse. Steve, what's interesting? I've said this to you before, many times. I've said, look, these days with the way scams work, you can see the criminal coming at you.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, like you get home, your house is robbed. Gee, what are the, like how, unless you got a camera, you have no idea how it happened.
Yep.
With this stuff, you open your mail, and it's like you're literally communicating with the guy that's trying to steal from you. Like it's like it seems like it's, I don't know if that's more or less violating, but talk about some of these holiday shopping scams, Steve, because they're on the rise this year.
Yeah, and the scams are getting worse, and a lot of it we can attribute to AI, because so many of the scams now are worldwide. They're coming from North Korea, they're coming from Russia, they're coming from places in China where English is not the primary language. So before, you would get an email, or you would go to a phony website, and they were almost laughable how bad they were. But now, with the use of AI, they look really good. And so you see maybe a social media post, or you even go to Google or any of the search engines, and you put in, maybe you put in Target or Walmart. What comes up tops is not necessarily the Walmart or the Target website, because the scammers do two things. One, they're so sophisticated in knowing how to manipulate the algorithms used by the search engines that they get their phony one top. And then the lazy ones, they just buy an ad to put their phony website up at the top. So before you ever use one of these websites that you see, and you want to make sure that when you do shop online, you want to use a credit card, not a debit card, because with a debit card, potentially you could lose your entire bank account. Credit cards, you get much more protection. So you check out, you go to something called whois.com. And whois.com, you put the URL of the site that you're on, and it will tell you if it's legit or not. I'll tell you a funny one was, you put in your credit card, and it tells you that the credit card has been declined, so you need to put in another credit card. Of course, it's the scammer, and what they want are two credit cards to steal from you. So you got to be really careful.
Oh my gosh, Steve, you were mentioning AI, and we talked in previous episodes about voice recognition and people stealing people's voices. A friend of mine just was the subject of this. She got a call she thought was her son, sounded just like her son, who was probably 16 or 17, and said, "Mom, I've been in a car accident. I need help." And he's like, "I'm going to pass you to somebody else." But all of that sounded just like her son. And then the next person was kind of off, and that was what cued her in. But it literally sounded just like her son. And she just posted on Facebook, she was almost this, been scammed by audio AI.
Absolutely. And another one, the same way it's working there, and even also with the deepfakes, are what we call virtual kidnappings. You get the call that supposedly from the kidnapper will put your son, your daughter on, and it definitely sounds like your son, your daughter. They only need about 30 seconds worth of audio, which they can get off of, any kind of social media, and they're going to fool you. There's a part of our brain called the amygdala that makes us react quickly in emergency situations. What families have got to do now, my motto, trust me, you can't trust anyone, is you have to have a code word.
Yeah.
And so when you get these kinds of emergencies, the first thing you ask is, what's the code word? And if they don't come up with that, there hasn't been the automobile accident, they haven't been kidnapped. But it's unfortunate that that's what we got to do.
Stephen J.J. Weisman, he is the scam man. Scamicide.com is the website. JJ, it's the time of the year, charity. You can tug on the heartstrings, and you can, have the sob story or send it out. Is this time of the year where people fall for them most?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the biggest time for charities. People are looking to give. And here's the thing, we're all familiar with the federal do not call list. The federal do not call list does not apply to charities. So legitimate charities can call you. You don't know when you're getting that call whether it really is from the local police or the Heart Association or cancer or whatever. So you can't trust that. You can't trust your caller ID, which can be manipulated so it looks like it's from legit. So whenever you get a contact, whether it's social media or a phone call or a text message, and if you're considering it, you go to a site called charitynavigator.org. What this will do is it'll give you the real charity, how to contact the real charity. And one of the things that's the most interesting thing is, along with telling you if the one is a scam or not, it'll also tell you how much of what they collect actually goes toward their charitable purposes and how much for their own administrative costs. So you can find out who really is getting the benefit.
You know, the interesting part of this is it's not just these shopping scams, it's also the delivery scams now.
Yeah.
It's also the fake Amazon scams now. It's the fake DHLs coming in and want your signature and your gate code before you get there. Buyer beware. Steve, thanks so much, brother. I appreciate it. Have a great holiday.
Steven, JJ Weisman, scamicide.com, saving a lot of people a lot of money.
Code word Quattro.
My code word is Palomino for anybody who wants to know.